I put in more of those infrared satellites. So here's their orbit. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. A little bit of sloppiness went in for some of these orbital insertions, so it doesn't look super great. Not that that in any way affects this, but with 9 of these going, they will be collecting the science much more quickly than they were before, and hopefully that will mean we will be collecting science at a greater rate. However, that is not the vehicle I'm on right now. The vehicle I'm on right now is right here, the Rovemate 2B. The Rovemate 2B is an identical one to the Rovemate 2, which 2 streams ago, I guess it was 2 streams ago, landed on the moon and got it collecting mostly gravity science, but also doing some of these scanning arm stuff and that kind of thing. And I thought, you know what? Why don't I put another one out there? And I was going to do this completely outside of doing the live streams, just do it on their own, plunk it somewhere else on the moon in some other biome, have it collecting science for me as well, until it had an engine failure. This engine decided it wasn't going to ignite. And so now it is in, if I take away everything else but it, there we go. It is in this elliptical orbit. It was on its way out to the moon, but now it's not going to get there. So these are engine failures that Kerbalism every once in a while decides it's going to throw your way no matter what kind of preparation that you do. I guess I could have put a backup engine on it, which I do for crewed vessels, but not for uncrewed vessels. However, you get 2 different kinds of failures. This one is yellow. You can also get it red. If it is red, it's done. It's not fixable. We're over. But if it is yellow, what that means is that it can be repaired by a Kerbal. So we could send a Kerbal out here. And if you look at its orbit, and here's the orbit of, let's get these out here. Which one? This one's the WKMSS, my low Kerbal orbit space station. And I do have Jeb and Bob. Sorry, not Jeb and Bob. Jeb and Bill are just sort of there. They went and did something, and then I stuck them at the station. And I thought, you know what? Why don't I start this all off by sending them out to this? We'll repair that engine. We'll get both of them out towards the moon. And then make this episode about finally developing that moon station that is attached to that asteroid. So the first step in all this, why don't I go to the first step, is actually to get to where Jeb and Bill are. So the idea is we'll get them going towards the moon, we'll get the rover going to the moon. I probably won't land the rover because I've done that before relatively recently and I don't want to bore anybody with that. But I do want to send some actual habitation and power generation type of modules out to my station around the moon. And Jeb and Bill here are going to supervise all of that. Now the one thing I do want to make sure of is that they are all stocked up before I just arbitrarily fire them off. So I'm going to get out, here it is, TAC Fuel Balancer, which is your very nice little resource management mode when things start getting very complicated. And I just want to go through, make sure they're stocked up for food. They would be vessel number 5, so I see a lot of 100% there, that's good. Hydrogen, there is no hydrogen on their vessel. Intake air doesn't matter. Liquid fuel, definitely want to make sure they're fueled up that way. Again, they're vessel 5, that's all hundreds. I think I did this before the stream. I just want to make sure that I didn't miss anything. Nitrogen, oxygen, or oxidizer. They don't have any oxidizer. Oxygen, if I can push it, oxygen. Again, they're vessel 5. Yep, that's all hundreds. Monopropellant, all hundreds. Waste should be, oh, they can't carry waste. Oh, they can carry waste atmosphere, but it's at 0. That would be just carbon dioxide. Waste water, we all know what that is. That's at 0s. And then water, the water we want. It's all in hundreds. Okay, so we can undock. Are they where I hope they are? In here? Jeb and Bill, yes, they are in there. Okay, so let's undock. And we're going to go fire off. We're going to repair that engine. Okay. Back away a little bit. This is, for those people that haven't seen many of my streams, the Nerve 1. I always name my crude crafts after the engine, and there's one Nerve engine on here. And it has been an incredible versatile... Gonna turn on the reaction wheels. It has been a very versatile vessel for me. We've done all kinds of stuff with this. You can see now it's fully fueled, about 2,300 meters per second of delta V. That's enough to get it anywhere within the Kerbin, Moon, Min-Mist type system, or orbit the sun for a little bit and come back. And it has done all of those things. But anyways, let's set ourselves a target. Let's just simply do that. Whoops. That one. There we go. Set it as a target. And let's see here. Probably my first bet would be just to raise my periapsis to match this orbit. So I should go over here to the other side. Oh, I got to lower it. Sorry, I'm the blue orbit. They're the yellow orbit. I got to still go over to the other side. Add a maneuver here. We're just going to bring this down. So the two periapsi are together. And then this is where we're going to shoot for our rendezvous. This shouldn't take too long. And then we'll get into the proper part of this. See, I need to be a little later. I want the two periapsi right on top of each other for this situation. A little less. I think that's pretty good. Oh, you can tell they're 76.3 and a little lower. 76, pretty much right on the button. That's pretty good. Okay. Maybe move it 1 second this way. 2 seconds. 3 seconds. Okay, that's it. I'm done. I'm done with the play. That's enough of that. Okay, and that is about a half an orbit where our maneuver is from where we are now. So we're going to perform ourselves a bit of a avoidance maneuver here by pointing this vessel prograde. Somebody was talking about wonky satellites. I adjusted the orbit of that first satellite before I sent up those further 8. So they all are in 80-minute orbits. The wonkiness, people are talking about the wonkiness. Let's talk about the wonkiness. I'll own the wonkiness. It was completely my mistake. But the wonkiness is really just one satellite. Well, first of all, I didn't carry the 1 on a phase angle calculation. This guy should be halfway between these two. Yeah, that was a mistake of 10. Doing simple subtraction that caused that. So that was part of it, but there's one orbit that's not quite where the rest of them are, and that's because I went and put it in its orbit after it already passed its apoapsis, which was dumb. That was the first one I dropped. I should have waited it to come around and then inserted it. But they are all in the right orbits. Okay, what am I doing here? I'm doing an avoidance maneuver. That's what I'm doing. A little bit of pushing here. Oh my gosh, this thing is so... Feels like I'm barely moving. That should be enough. That's very weak RCS, that's for sure. Okay, let's get to that maneuver. Activate the engine. Okay, and get to the maneuver. You know what? We'll even take control away from Jeb. Get ready to just do this way. Okay, and yeah, we can. Oh, I don't even need to do that because we got this. Jeb is not in charge. Scripts are in charge. There we go. closer. You can see the station over there well behind us, so we don't have to worry about potentially crashing into it. And that beautiful plume coming from the waterfall mod. This should be around 76.0, I think, is what I set it at. Oh, I should also check. Oh, it can definitely be lower than that. I should also check my engine. Yeah, that's not very good, well done there. So noticing a bit of an inclination difference too. Why is there... Oh, I know why there's a bit of an inclination difference. Okay. One thing at a time. I know why. Okay, we'll deal with that out there. First of all, what happens if I just use some RCS here, just to do it that way? Got too many thoughts in my brain right now. I'm just bringing this down a little bit. Burn calculator cut a little early. Don't know why. And then we'll do that. The engine. I should check to see if it needs any servicing. 24 ignitions. It must have been serviced relatively recently. If it needed servicing, Bill would have been all over that. Okay, let's set up our... rendezvous. The reason why I did put this moon rover in a bit of an inclined orbit, because I was planning on putting this into a polar orbit about the moon. So I launched into a bit of an inclined orbit, which now I can see is going to be potentially a little bit problematic. We'll see. Maybe I should be doing a little bit of a plane change around here-ish. Hence why these two are just a little off from each other. There we go, that's better. So we're going to end up doing that burn, and then we're going to end up doing some sort of phasing burn here. And we'll see how this goes. Try and get ourselves an encounter. So the idea here is to create a maneuver such that when we come around back to here again, we'll be just meeting up with this fella. Or maybe we'll go around a couple times. No, we should go around more than a couple times. Okay, so need to pump ahead a little bit. There we go. And now, as you can see, that orange close approach indicator, can I get it to go all the way around and come back? I don't think I can. Nope. So we got to come back. Coming back. Coming back. Oh my god, and I got about a gazillion icons all on top of each other here. There's the closest approach, 2.1 kilometers. Oops. See how quickly, how low can I get that? I saw 0.3 kilometers, that'll be good enough. High encounter speed though, 353.6 meter per second encounter speed because of the differences in the orbit, but that's going to be what that's going to be. Okay, let's get to that maneuver. Why did I close the KOS window? That was silly. Here, let's open this up too. Run our script once again. I am not going to be doing that math right now while I'm doing this here. I'll look at it later there. Was it Pedroig? I'll definitely look at that math later. To say I've done an arithmetic mistake is not minor. Oh, no, but I wasn't trying to divide it into 9. I was only trying to divide it into 8. So I was shooting for 45 degrees. That was exactly what I was shooting for. And that part of it worked. Of course, I probably wasn't explaining myself particularly well either. Oh, look, this is the plane change part of this, of course. Doing a little bit of a plane change. I forgot that I put in those 2 maneuvers. And there's a second one coming. Okay. Now, how close is this still? 0.4 kilometers. That's still fine. Okay, and then we got one more maneuver coming up. Ooh, I'm not sure if my microphone is picking that up, but there be thunder outside that I just heard. I was looking at the radar just before starting this stream, and there are thunderstorms in the vicinity, but I don't think they're coming to me. Thank you, Jason. I hope you are doing well as well. All right. Those satellites, Jason, are not looking for asteroids. I know that's really confusing because that telescope is specifically in stock for looking for asteroids, but Kerbalism layers on its own science on many of the stock parts, and they are doing infrared telescopy things that have nothing to do with asteroids. So I'm at this moment not particularly interested in finding asteroids. Okay, so we're doing this one. So this again is setting up this little phasing orbit that has a period such that when I get back down to here, we will be meeting up with our busted up rover, and then we'll be sending both the rover and these fellas out towards the moon, as the rest of the work is all going to be around the moon. Okay, burn is just about complete, and then we'll see what our encounter situation is like. Oh, I should be looking at this. Okay, I got a 4-kilometer separation. Yep. Let's see if we can fix that up with a little RCS. Burn stopped a little early. That's what RCS is for. Oh, I saw 336, 335. 335 meter separation here, and that's coming up in 42 minutes. Okay, cool. That's cool. Now, I'm going to try this. I never do this way. And I hate to be sounding like I'm plugging my own tutorials. But a tutorial that I just... Is it the one? Yes. No, it's not. It's the tutorial that's coming out on Monday. I haven't released it yet. Was talking about high velocity encounters. Now, I'm used to just coming in here and kind of eyeballing it. But I'm going to try it the way I do it in the tutorial and see if it works well here, is to put a maneuver right there at our encounter. And then here what we're going to do is push this out to match our target's orbit. We're pretty close to it. I can see here it's not quite in the right spot. Probably moving it ahead is going to fix that up. Moving it here. Oh, yeah, ahead. So that is using a maneuver to deal with most of our... Oh, but that's going to push it way back that way. Okay. That's after another orbit, isn't it? 2 hours. This is in 40 minutes. Yeah, okay. Gotta come back. I'll explain. There we go. And now I'm using this maneuver to deal with the rendezvous, the orbital matching business of it. I think I actually need a little bit of radial. Is that making it better? I think I need to up this. No. Nope, that's making it worse. Oh, I can see there's a... No, the planes are... Oh, no, the planes are terrible. That's what the issue is. Let's get back to here. Put that 0 back. Put a 0 back in for that. It's the plane difference I'm not dealing with. Because this is the target orbit in yellow, and we are in a different plane. I probably better off... Well, it should be okay. Oh. Except now I'm not doing anything. Okay, I see one. You know, I'm doing this, and I'm debating whether I'm making any sense. Except now I'm just, yeah, okay, I'm going to stop doing this because I'm not making any sense. What I am going to do, this is going to make more sense, is fix my... Nah, I'm just going to do it with my eyeballs. The heck with all this. Eyeballs it is. Where am I at? Where am I at? I am wanting alarm clocks where I'm at. That one. For the closest approach, give me like 5 minutes warning. Let's go. So the idea here, we can watch it from here. I really wasn't making sense with what I was doing. I should not. So this is going to go around once. And it's going to meet up. Not that anymore. With our rover. But our encounter speed is going to be pretty high. But I think I'm just going to deal. Get ourselves closer still. Get us within a couple minutes of it. Of course, now that I'm time warping, it's completely messing all this up. I hate that. But when you stop time warping, the maneuver, the thing comes back. Go this way. Oh, there it is. Okay. Lock this onto retrograde. So we got to knock off like 345 meters per second or thereabouts. So it's a lot of velocity here to knock off. And I was trying to do that with a node, and I think I was just creating more problems than it's worth. So I'm just going to throttle up here. And I want to, whoa, throttle down a bit. Push it this way. No, not that way. I'm playing around. I'm watching this intercept distance. I'm playing around with which way to... That way pushes it, makes it smaller. Nope, not for long though. So as long as I can keep this time to intercept from going down dramatically, I won't collide with it. The only thing I'm trying to do is reduce my velocity. Oh, this is working. Reduce my velocity while at the same time reducing my closest approach distance. But I need to keep a close eye on this. And I get people, they tell me they do this and then they end up so far away from their target. And... oh, gotta do a little bit of this. A little bit of this, a little bit of that. But as long as you keep a look at these numbers, it should be okay. Oh, that's enough of that. Come back. Maybe this way a bit. Yep. Yeah, I'm knocking off a lot of my relative velocity while I'm doing. I'm just going to keep that right on there, I think. Yeah, that's doing it. Still less than 2 minutes away from the target, so I'm keeping my time. Well, now it's starting to increase, but my relative velocity has come down a lot. A lot more manageable. So as long as you watch these numbers, you shouldn't need a maneuver node. I enjoy doing this better anyway. Okay, we're about 3 minutes away. Target velocity is now only 50 meters per second, so we can get ourselves a lot closer. How do you make it so stations don't lag? There is no real easy answer to that particular question. I am starting to get lag issues with the station that we just left from. Maybe you noticed them, maybe you didn't. But once your part count starts getting up particularly high, yeah, this is not, you know, other than starting to get better computer, but I hate to keep saying that because I don't have the greatest of machines myself. But KSP is not kind to high part counts. And very low thrust. No rush here. Probably let myself get a lot closer. Let's get ourselves closer. I do have to watch ignitions. We'll get Bill to go out and do some servicing once we're sort of done with this. So, sun's gone down. Yeah, but lag, like if you do something like I'm seeing chat about building like an ISS replica and stuff like that. You start doing that kind of stuff with all of those parts. And yeah, the lag can be pretty bad. Because KSP calculates the physics calculations on every part on the vessel. And if you look at this guy, like, you know, Kerbalism doesn't help with me having to put on oxygen and food and water containers. So there's a lot of little parts all parked in there, and it's doing the calculations on all of that. Whoa, I'm only 25 seconds from the station. I got to pay attention here. And that uses up CPU time. But now I got to concentrate on slowing this down. I can see our rover. I can see our rover. Do one final little push with the nerve here, and then we'll go to RCS for the rest of this. And then Bill's got to get out there. Bill's got some work to do. Oh. Hey there, Javier, Michael. Richard, is that right? I'm hoping that's right. Welcome. I do my best to read the chat, but if I miss you, do not take it personally, please. You know what, let's... Okay, we can spin her around now. Oh, should be getting the sun up soon on the other side. There's our busted rover. Silly rover. Just bring us to a relative stop here. See, like Jeb and Bill, they were just kind of hanging out. They weren't really doing anything. I'm glad they were in the station, because the only reason they're really there is because I was too lazy to bring them down to the surface. All right, Bill, let's get you out there. I'm always going to check on his... No, look at, see the monopropellant? There is some sort of a bug. So he has no monopropellant in his... This is some sort of... I think it's connected just to Kerbalism. But what I have learned is if... Let me get this right. If I look at the inventory here, and if I simply take Bill's pack... See how there's no monopropellant in it? And but if I take his pack, I put it in here temporarily. Oh, that doesn't work. It's too big. Okay, do I have to do it with Jebediah? Do like that, like that, like that. No, he still has 0. Oh no, maybe I use this thing. Use this container. There's something about if you put it in a container and then bring it back. It's still no. Okay, let's board him for a second. We gotta fix Bill's. It's something to do with if you put them in containers and simply bring them out again. Let's EVA him one more time. No, he's still 0. Oh shoot, don't let this... Kerbalism has a thing where it uses the monopropellant in the ship, and I do have monopropellant. Oh, that better. I do have monopropellant in the ship, right? I do. They have plenty of monopropellant. Swapping with their parachutes. Okay, thank you. I'll try that. So if we open up Jeb's inventory. Somebody just said in the chat, I get the same bug and I fix it by swapping with their parachutes. There is some sort of inventory swappiness that goes on. So what if I do that, 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 that. Ha! That worked. Give Jeb back a parachute. So now they're 5 for 5. Even though the bar's not up there, the number 5 is there. So I don't... It's weird. Okay. But either way, he's moving. Okay, let's get over there. It has something to do with Kerbalism using the monoprop, and it has something to do... I think it's just those specific containers, or capsules, because they don't have monopropellant built into them, that somehow that messes Kerbalism up. I love the way that Kerbalism actually uses the monoprop of the vessel, so you do not have an infinite supply of propellant for your EVA packs. I do like that, but there is some sort of weird thing happening with that. Okay, let's see. We should be able to just repair this engine. We are back in business. Inspect the engine. Yeah, okay. So he has fixed that engine. Didn't even look to see what the problem was, just went ahead and fixed it. And we're also going to service our nuclear engine while he's out here. And there is radiation that comes off of this, so what you do is you just come in real quick. Do it. Inspect the engine, service engine, and the engine should be good now. Yep. Okay. And now Bill's going to come back inside. Whoa. Where's the hatch? There's the hatch. Oh, Bill's just gone crazy here. There we go. How did you get the Tron helmets? They are part of stock. One of the DLCs. I can't remember which DLC is responsible for the Tron-like helmets, but one of the DLCs do give you those helmets. The Breaking Ground one, maybe? I think so. So that is a DLC that comes from Squad. Okay, let's get these folks towards the moon. Now, we have missed... Set this as a target. We have missed our opportunity, so like if I just do this and extend this out, I am 100% for sure that that is going to miss the moon. So what we're going to do to try and expedite this relatively quickly is I'm going to move this. No, we're going to put that back. I'm lying. We're going to put another maneuver here. We're going to move this maneuver nearby. So it's just before it. So we should now have maneuver number 1 and maneuver number 2. And then with maneuver number 1, we're going to change the period of our blue orbit. We're just going to increase it. See, and that's going to have that effect on the other maneuver. But now that if I switch over to maneuver number 2, I can bring that back down. I should be paying attention whether I'm getting these encounters closer or further apart when I do that. But what I should be able to do is create a period such that we do end up hitting the moon. I hope I'm making sense. What is this distance? 3,500 kilometers. Okay, let's go back to maneuver 1. Just increase that. We could also pop ahead orbits too. And now if I go back to maneuver 2, bring that down. Did that make it better or worse? I don't think I'm doing much is what I'm doing. Now I'm looking at it. Okay, let's get rid of maneuver number 1. New plan. Okay. What happens if we just pop ahead orbits? Pop ahead in orbit. Pop ahead until we get close to a moon encounter here. Pop ahead in orbit. Pop ahead in orbit. Okay. Really does look like that's the one. Try this trick with the phasing again. I think I should be able to get this to work. Maneuver 1. Maneuver 2. Might be making this more complicated than it's worth. 29, 24. Okay, maneuver 1. Oh, I know what's happening. Oh my gosh. Okay, I get it. Okay, delete all these. I know what I'm doing wrong. I know what I'm doing wrong. Okay. Do this one first. Increase this a little bit. Put your second maneuver here on the other trajectory. I can do this. So it's now on the new orbit. Now if I go to maneuver 2, no. Go to maneuver 1. I should be seeing 2 trajectories. That's what's confusing me. Maneuver 2. What if I push this one ahead in orbit? I see a second Apo. Maneuver 1. Maneuver 2. Here's our closest approach. The target is there. So we're missing, yeah. Oh, I don't know how long I'll keep. There's something wacky happening and I don't quite understand what it is. Oh, now I'm seeing both orbits. Okay, that's working. Okay. So, if I push this ahead another orbit, I don't want to go ahead that many orbits. Oh, wait, no, that was a mistake. Oh, my gosh. If I go to maneuver... No, that's right. I'm not sure how, if I'm making this better or worse or what. I know what oh, I keep pushing down the wrong buttons. Okay, here we go. I'm not going to do this for the Rover. Rover I'll figure out some other time. Not sure if I saved myself much in the way of doing much anything, but it's what it is. Okay, so going to maneuver 2. I think I might have made this just way more complicated than it needed to be, but I don't care. Oh, I'm not even oh my gosh, and I forgot. I gotta still, oh, this is getting, I also have to rendezvous. No, it's this. There's our target, the arm. You know what? We'll deal when we get to the moon's SOI. We have tons and tons and tons of delta V in this thing. I'm just going to go for this. This is what we're going to go. We're going to leave Mr. Rover here by himself. He's not my problem. So we're going to perform. Let's get back to here, and then we'll... Yep. Here's us. Here's our burn. Burns prograde. Let's burn just want to get away from this Rover a little bit. And then I'll read the chat and everybody will tell me everything that I was doing wrong here. Okay, just going to do that. Let's get to this maneuver. Perform the burn. I don't want to leave them in that orbit because they would be crossing all kinds of radiation belts too, and I don't think that's a cool idea. Oh, I don't know why I'm locking to retrograde when I should be performing a burn. So sort of explain what I'm doing here is we are currently in this orbit, which is, I'm pretty sure, crossing all kinds of radiation belts. You can do that to see, yeah, see we're crossing radiation belts. I'm pushing myself into this orange orbit, which is still crossing radiation belts, but a little bit better. But that's adjusting my period in such a way so that I should be able to make a subsequent burn and smack out to the moon. That's the whole idea, and it's complicated further by the fact that what I have to dock with is in a polar orbit about the moon. So radiation's okay. Kerbals are good with radiation. The vessel is heavily shielded, so there is that. All right. So that was all very, very messy. It was messy because I should be seeing, like now I can see my two trajectories, and for some reason I wasn't seeing both trajectories with both maneuvers, and that's what was confusing me for the longest time. But it seems to be okay now.